shit.
With the pause.
There was some.
Go ahead.
There was like a giant delay at the beginning there, so I don't know what happened, but like everyone freaked out there, and then Michaela. So I'm Mark, and go on.
And we're coming at you faster than a Rockies blown lead in the ninth. It's the My Brother's an Idiot podcast. I'm the king of the goons. The entire goon squad is here, and we are probably 1 or 2 hockey games away from us being in the dog days of summer here, lady and gentlemen. This is going to be a rough month and a half with nothing to talk about besides Chiefs players getting arrested in bad baseball.
Yeah, because I'm not spending an hour talking about Broncos OTAs. Thank you very fucking much.
Correct. This isn't the fan. We're not going to do that here today.
However, don't care how the Broncos' second or third string quarterback looks in July. Thank you.
Ooh, Dipshit, our starter. Apparently, all 4 of our quarterbacks are potentially the starter right now. So,
I don't want to talk about it.
Dipshit, what? I'm trying to change the subject. Dipshit, what's for dinner?
Anthony's.
Anthony's.
We ordered it, and the first DoorDash driver picked it up and then said that they couldn't get it, so they canceled on their side. So then another driver got assigned to it and showed up and was like, "Where's the food?" And the Anthony's guys were like, "You already picked up the food," and he was like, "What?" And they were like, "What?" So then it's like an hour and a half late.
Oh, good.
That's the new scam, by the way. They somebody picks it up and then cancels it right away, and then they're good to eat for a while, and then like 4 other people show up for the same order. That's the new thing.
Good.
You should lose your job for that. I'm not going to lie.
Right?
There's no accountability on their end, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. Well, I've got a game for us, and this is going to be, I think, a ton of fun. We're going to play Would You Rather, and I have concocted 9 scenarios. Some of them are specific.
Tank, you have the loudest ice I've ever heard.
Clink. Some of these are specifically crafted for individuals. Some of these are catch-all. They could go to anybody. So, and it's my choice as to who gets what, because I'm in charge and I said so. So, Tank, we're going to start with you. This is actually this is because I just want to start with you. This one isn't actually crafted for you. This one's actually fairly mundane, and they're going to get worse as we move along. Tank,
how I replace my calendar. Giants.
It's Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Okay.
You have to have someone defending the ball in a half-court set. Would you rather have that defender be MPJ or Luka Doncic?
Oh, Christ.
Oh, he who did not play any defense.
Barely MPJ. Because at least he tries. Luka didn't even try for half of the games.
Right? He didn't play squad for defense.
Yeah, MPJ, because at least he will attempt defense sometimes.
Got it.
MPJ's not going to cost you on the foul line, so yeah, you got to go with the guy who's not going to cost you on the foul line.
All right, Mark.
12 extra points for the other team.
Yeah, this one is not also crafted for you, but it's a good one. You're in a one-on-one drill in a football practice.
Okay.
You have to either, and you're going to get a choice. So the drill is it's a 1-yard run. You have to meet the runner in the hole. Would you rather be the running back who has to get a yard and the guy filling the hole is prime Aaron Donald? Or would you rather be the guy filling the hole and the guy running the rock is prime Derrick Henry?
Okay, first off, you got to stop talking about guys filling holes. You've had like 4 of those already. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but
it's
you have guys filling several holes. You have guys filling several holes. This isn't that kind of show.
Yeah, it's because what they do in football. But you still have to make a decision. Are you trying to tackle Derrick Henry, or are you trying to run over Aaron Donald?
I think I'm just going to take my medicine and get fucking destroyed by Aaron Donald in the hole. I think if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out against the biggest, nastiest guy that I can think of and give me Aaron Donald to make it quick and painless.
Okay.
So you have to gain the yard against Aaron Donald.
Yes.
How many are you not allowed to give up even a yard against Derrick Henry?
Correct.
Oh, then fuck. Yeah, I'd rather try and take on.
Let me get fucking destroyed by Aaron Donald, please.
You're gonna get blown to bits either way.
Either way, yeah.
There's just no way.
Let me be the guy.
Be able to squeeze a yard.
At least give me the comedy of my helmet popping off like a fucking Rock'em Sock'em Robots doll, and then holding on to the ball for dear life because I will be dead at that point, and I will be fully in rigor holding on to the ball.
Awesome.
I'm just thinking you might go with Aaron Donald just because you might be able to squeeze underneath him while he's taking you to the ground and get that yard with a stretch.
You want me to go 5-hole on him?
Yeah,
I don't think I'm flexible enough.
That yard.
Maybe
Derrick Henry's going to run through you for at least a yard. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think I have the quicks to get through Aaron Donald's 5-hole anymore. Maybe like 20, but not at 40.
I honestly thought you were going to pick trying to dive at Derrick Henry's ankles. But
yeah, it doesn't work.
No, just let me get if I'm gonna get plowed either way, just let me go out on top and comically the helmet pops off.
Right. All right. MJ, this one is crafted specifically for you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You texted me this morning and I didn't like
it. I did. Okay. So would you rather So whose echo is that? Tank, are you using speakers? Because I hear it too.
I do have a speaker, but is it causing an issue?
Yeah, we can hear an echo.
And Neil says Henry makes 5 yards on that. I think Henry scores on all
Henry's going 98 on every single one of us. Right. Listening or talking, he's going 98.
All right, dipshit, are you ready?
I'm prepared, I suppose.
Would you rather lose Austin Matthews to the Bruins in a free agent bidding war, or have to have Curtis McDermott play on the first line at wing for the entire season?
For what team?
The Leafs.
Okay, so McDermott on the first line wing or lose Matthews?
Yep.
Listen. I don't want to say the gun would go off, but it would be close. But I guess I'm taking McDermott because I don't know. He can like stand still for a few and have pucks bounce off him sometimes. There's been worse.
He's got to play first line minutes.
Well, you didn't say he had to play the whole time. You said he's got to start on the first line.
Start on the first line. Now,
he's playing in theory, you could just have him goon somebody in the first period, and he'd be out for the rest.
Just of the game. Just go straight line brawl on the first, and then he's gone. I mean, that's a safe bet.
And then just run 11 forwards for the rest of the game.
Fuck it.
McDermott gets banned from the league in the first 10 games of the season because every time he comes out he gets fucking suspended for 10 games.
Yeah, you just have him match on their best wing and let him throw hands in the first couple minutes.
If nothing else, it's going to put a damage on the other guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. At what point do the Leafs start getting fucking point penalties for doing it every time he comes out?
Right.
Listen, we don't want to fucking play him either.
It was her choice. We can't do anything about it.
Michaela has changed the face of the NHL. We're putting the goons on the first line. Going goon first line. We have changed the rules of the game.
Awesome. All right, Tank, this one I made specially for you. Would you rather catch a ball over the middle against prime Vontaze Burfict, or would you rather have to throw a 9 route with Troy Polamalu coming at you unblocked?
So would I rather catch a concussion that changes me permanently, a la AB, or, maybe be able to tuck a little bit and get blown up by Troy? I'll take the Troy. I don't need a life-changing concussion today.
I think you're going to get changed either way. Honestly.
Yeah, but one's been proven on the field
used to
repeatedly.
jump over offensive and defensive linemen to get in the backfield. That man is absurd.
He was
And
terrible.
if you're just standing there like a statue, I think I'd rather take the standing there by like a statue instead of like at full speed somebody who's coming across the middle and getting you.
Yeah.
And get perfected.
I think you're right about that, Frank. The more and more I think about that, I think that's not a hot take for you, Frank. That's pretty solid reason.
Obviously.
Oh, it's going to hurt either way.
It's not going to feel good.
It's not going to be a concussion guaranteed. It might just, be some bruised ribs or something.
It's funny.
You may live through it.
Mark, I made this one specially for you.
Oh, Christ.
Game 7 of the World Series.
Okay.
2 outs, bases loaded. Nowhere to put the batter. Would you rather pitch to prime Big Papi or stand in the box and face prime Pedro?
Pedro.
So you are going to beat the Red Sox or lose to the Red Sox either way, but you have to pick one.
I would rather, in that case, probably just take it off of Papi and, then live in the history books.
As the guy that gave up the gopher ball to Papi?
Yeah. I mean, either way, the Red Sox are winning the game. Like, if Pedro's pitching, I ain't hitting fucking anything that he's throwing because that circle change he had and that fucking slider were fucking disgusting. And he had like 12 pitches in his arsenal. The guy was like 40 years old inventing new pitches to put out there every year. It was fucking insane. But I think I'd rather be the guy that gives up the dinger and then at least have a history book moment than the guy that strikes out and is forgotten for all time. Give me the history.
History. All right. And would you rather chase the puck into the corner knowing that Trouba is right behind you, ready to crush your dreams? Or face a 107-mile slap shot, which is the record, by the guy who made the slap shot, Philip Ruda, with only a mask, a stick, and a glove?
I don't like either of these. But I have a mask with the slap shot, right?
Correct. You are wearing a mask.
So damage to bones or damage to all bones? Damage to certain bones or all of them?
The issue is if it's Trouba coming in, it's my brain bones that is getting hit.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about the big
coming in high.
That elbow has fucking laser targeting towards brains. I think I'm taking the slap shot. Because, like...
You're taking the slap shot?
Yeah. Because, like, I might duck. I could.
Might get out of the way.
It could happen.
But rather that than fucking Roman Reigns, except if he was using his elbow. Prefer to keep my brain cells relatively intact.
So
I don't have enough of them as it is.
You're going to risk the slap shot just going right through you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I stand next to things that are spinning at ungodly speeds all the time, and I'm not dead yet, so we'll figure it out.
Fair enough.
Real quick, shout out to Neil who's playing along with the home edition of Would You Rather.
Correct. He's making his own choices, and I'm here for it.
Cheers, buddy.
All right. Tank.
If this is not Lord of the Rings version, I will wait for the next time when it will be.
Season of youth football with Yaqub Talib, or be O.J. Simpson's ex-wife's best friend?
God.
What the fuck? What the absolute fuck? Best friend, huh? You're going best friend?
Besto friendo.
Yes.
No, you're good,
Besto
Neil. You keep it up.
friendo.
We love it.
No. The shout out was good. We're just
Yeah,
letting
it
you
was
know
good.
we
We love
enjoy the interaction. We're watching along with
Keep
you.
it up.
So
Keep it up.
both are not great, but I guess I'd go option 1 because option number 2 has a little too much infamy attached to it, I think.
I mean, you're probably going to die.
Neither are good, honestly.
Dead either way. You're not making it through it. They're going to kill you.
God, yeah, both of us are shit options, dude. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
number
why it's
1.
fun.
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Yeah, number 1. No, that second option, that's just...
Neither? Question mark?
Nope. Got to pick
I'll go
one.
ahead and pick the gun.
How much control do I have in option number 1?
What?
How much control
number
do
1?
I have in option number 1?
You don't have any control. He's the head coach.
None.
Control. You must learn control.
You just have to live with it and deal with it, huh?
Just have to
Yeah,
live and
number
deal
1.
with fiery Yaqub Talib.
Yeah, I could deal with that.
All right.
I mean, the other end is surefire death.
yeah,
you know.
absolute death.
Yeah. You're dead. Like,
Yep. All right.
everyone remembers OJ killed his wife. Everyone forgot that there was also somebody else involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
This is basketball. You're playing 1-on-1. You have to either score or prevent the other player from scoring. And if you do neither, you will die. Would you rather defend prime Michael Jordan or score on prime Kobe?
I think I'm gonna if all things being equal, I think I'm gonna take defending Kobe will give me a glimmer of hope. No, I'm sorry.
No,
Kobe's defending me, right?
You have to score on Kobe.
I might be able to possibly maybe put up a shot and it might go somewhere near where the basket is. And there's a possibility that shot that I might get off, it's a big might. I'd have to get the shot off first, and then the shot has to go towards the basket. And as long as it's off, it's out of my hands and in the direction towards the basket, it might go in. If I'm trying to defend MJ in his prime, he's just gonna fucking run right past me. Even if I'm in my prime. Not even today, but 20 years ago when I was actually good at basketball, he can go ahead and just run right fucking past me at any point in my life. I've played against good basketball players. None of them are as good as anybody in the NBA. So if I have a shot, I'll just jack one up and it might go in. But I don't have a prayer of defending against anybody.
All right. So
it's got to go out of my hand and it's got to go towards the basket. But if those two things happen, it might go in. It might.
Okay. Fair enough. That's kind of the direction I thought you were going to go. All right. This one, MJ, is not crafted for anyone, but it might very well be my favorite.
Oh, God.
Oh, Christ.
Would you rather ride shotgun in either one of these two scenarios? Would you rather ride shotgun with Kansas City Chief wide receiver Rashee Rice on a Saturday night in Dallas? Or would you rather ride shotgun with Ricky Bobby with Karen the Cougar in the back seat?
See, I feel like this one's kind of crafted for Michaela, actually, because if you know anything about Michaela, she doesn't ride in the car very well with people who aren't very good drivers.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this sucks.
Rasheed Rice ran a lot. Michaela, just so you know, Rasheed Rice ran a lot of red lights.
Yeah,
I'm just going
aware.
to throw that out there.
And Ricky Bobby's a good driver. You're just so worried about the Cougar.
I still, to this day, every time I run a red light, say, sorry, Michaela. Every time. Every fucking time.
Okay. Don't listen. You can't be mad. The cougar was a real cat, right? Like that was an actual cougar. Okay. I'm gonna take my chances to try to cuddle the kitty.
Oh, the kitty.
I agree with that.
Listen,
I'm on board. I'm on board with that.
I'm totally cool going real fast. I'm gonna get kitty love. Or do my damnedest.
If you aren't first, you're last. Yes, Neil, you're absolutely right.
You got the better driver in that scenario. You got Ricky.
Right, that's true. That's true. Taking your chance with the feral mountain lion in the back seat.
After your question for Tank, I did not think Ricky Bobby was where you were going. I thought you were going White Bronco, and I was like,
We've already been unalivey over on this thing, so I was wondering if that's where we were going, but yeah.
Right? Nope. I didn't want to jump on the OJ trampoline too many times.
I'd rather be riding shotgun with
jump on the OJ trampoline. What the hell is wrong with you? Jump? I didn't want to jump on the OJ trampoline. Too many times. Not just that, but then he followed up with too many times.
Too many times.
I don't want to jump on the OJ trampoline too many times.
We already did it once. I didn't want to do it again.
We jumped on the OJ trampoline a lot on this show since he died.
Yeah, leave an open-ended question on that one. Just which homicidal professional athlete would you want to ride shotgun with to their trial?
Dead homicidal. That narrows it down quite a bit.
Oh, that's funny. All right, well, that is Would You Rather. We are done. There you go. All done. Yay. Book put away. Well done, guys. That was fun. Definitely.
So glad we got to jump on the O.J. Simpson trampoline.
Right?
A couple of times.
We named the episode. Hold on, I'm writing that down.
Yeah. That's why I keep repeating it.
Jay.
Take notes, jackass.
There we go. Got it. Episode has been named. Well, the two major sports that are in their championship seasons, one is over. I congratulate Derek White and nobody else, because Derek White's from Parker and went to Legend High School. But the Boston Celtics did indeed win the NBA championship. Tank, what the hell happened? This was about some of the worst finals basketball I've seen in a long time.
Oh, well, I mean, God, Dallas didn't show up. Luka didn't play defense. Kyrie didn't seem to play at all. And, yeah, they just got out everything. Outshot, out-rebounded, out-defended. It was just a one-sided blowout. I really think Game 4 was an intentional drop by Boston just so they could win Game 5 at home. I literally think that's what happened. Because they shouldn't have beat them even one game. It should have been a sweep. It was gross.
Yeah, Neil says the Nuggets weren't there. I couldn't agree with that more. Mark, what do you think?
The Boston, Massachusetts sports gods are thanking the Minnesota Timberwolves for going out and knocking the Denver Nuggets out of this, because the Boston Celtics would not have stood a chance, even with as depleted as they were. They would not have stood a chance against the Denver Nuggets. And I don't know what happened to Dallas with that Minnesota series, but that was a completely different team after the Western Conference Finals. They were deflated, defeated. They had no answers. It wasn't like Boston was overwhelmingly defensive. They were, but it wasn't like they were throwing up a lot of really bad shots, and Luka looked terrible for him. And like we said earlier, Luka not playing defense. And he was a defensive liability. Like when one of your stars is a defensive liability and the other ball handler that you have is a no-show in 3 of the 4 games or 4 of the 5 games that you have, specifically the 3 in Boston that they had, this had doom spelled all over it. I gotta say that Derek White may be the ugliest man in professional sports now that Kane's retired. I'm glad he gave up on the hairline, but man, he's just the Celtics posted a picture when they were about to win. Did you guys see that picture of Derek White's busted ass face?
Oh.
I'll see if I can find it. But it was just like, oh Jesus, look at this fucking mouth and eyes and everything else he's got going. He looks like a psychopath. But I do love Derek White, and I know he's got some family ties, and we appreciate him buying some kids some lunch one time. Yeah, so he's a good dude. And, I'm rooting for the Celtics. So there's history. Now that the Celtics are the most decorated team in NBA history, it's now time for Lakers Center to get on air and say something to the effect of, are the Lakers in the right trajectory to take over the Celtics lead as champions? I can't wait for ESPN to post something like that. They're going to do it. I bet they did already.
I thought we had a moratorium on mentioning
Matt,
that.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, God. What happened? Hello, Houston. Hello.
I hear you.
Michaela, do you have volume?
Yes, sorry. I have volume.
So it's just
Can you hear me?
My volume's gone. I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. MJ, you got any thoughts on the NBA Finals?
They certainly happened there, Bob. So I watched maybe half of a game at one point and was like, yep. I like, what's his name? I like Luka, but they were playing so badly that I could not force myself to watch anymore. And so I was like, well, if Luka win. If not, at least the Parker kid win, whatever. Win-win. So I didn't pay that much attention, TBH.
I mean, that's kind of on brand.
I do my best.
Yeah, and Neil said it, Mavs or Boston, Nuggets win. And Mark actually said it too. Neither one of these teams have an answer for Joker. Neither one of these teams have the size to really play against Denver. And the lack of depth and the lack of health that Denver faced in that second round series was just too much to overcome. But had they done it, they would have had another title now. That I think is undeniable because there's just no way that Boston could stay with Denver. They didn't beat them this year at all. They had two cracks at them and couldn't do it. So, I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right? Whatever. I Boston wins. Yay. Whatever.
Denver had the misfortune of running into a team that was built specifically to beat them, and they were injured when they did it. So that's the only reason they weren't there.
Right.
No other team could compete with them in the paint.
Yeah. And what the hell happened to the Timberwolves when they got into Dallas? I mean, they just turtled. It's almost like the teams that won those series. So if you look at it was for the Timberwolves, beating the Nuggets was the title. And then for the Mavericks, getting to the finals was the title. It's almost like they were just happy to be there, right? They didn't show up at all. Like, how do you, as professional athletes, look that bad in that setting on that stage?
One of my biggest takeaways from the 2024 playoffs, and sorry about that, guys. I'm not really sure what happened, but we're back now.
Fine.
But one of my biggest takeaways that I've got from the 2024 playoffs is blowout basketball. There were not very many close games at all in these playoffs. It was a blowout one way or another. I don't care if the series went to 7 games, but the games weren't close. None of them. There was a lot of get up by 20, and you saw it in the one game where the Celtics did this all year. It wasn't just like this was a one-time thing in the finals, and there may be some things that they gave up just to get in front of their hometown crowd, but they got blown out a lot this year. And if they were out of a game, they would get blown out by 30 or 40 points. And that seemed to be the case for the entire playoffs. There were not a lot of close basketball games. There really weren't. There was a couple with the Nuggets and Timberwolves, but other than that, it was just one way or the other. People were just getting demolished all playoffs long.
That's a good call out. And I think I saw a meme the other day, the NBA, there was basically two students taking a test, and one was labeled NBA and one was labeled the NHL, and their books were open, and on their books it said the finals, and the NBA was looking over and cheating off of the NHL because the NHL playoffs have been much more compelling. Game 5, throw that away, that 8-goal output that they had, and we'll get into that in a minute, but it just wasn't a great playoffs for the NBA in terms of compelling basketball. And the storylines were there. You had, Denver and LA, you had Denver and Minnesota. And then after that, it was like, well, what the fuck do we do now? It's Boston and Indiana. Shit, I saw this in 1996. I mean, come on. That's just not what we want to see in playoff basketball. It just wasn't good.
There's just not a lot of compelling stories, generally speaking, in the Eastern Conference. Like, what was the big breaking news today was Pascal Siakam is making fucking a max contract starting in July. Like, that was the fucking that's what the Eastern Conference is looking at right now. Is just boring. It's just boring, nameless, and not very interesting. But it wins championships.
And Detroit fired their coach. That was the other one.
Randomly. I was like, whoa, that's fucking, what's going on there?
Yeah, that's late.
But then I didn't care enough to look it up because it's Detroit basketball and who gives a fuck.
Well, the interesting thing about that is they fired him with 5 years left on his deal, and he signed a 6-year deal. I mean, it was his first year.
He just got there.
Yeah. So they're on the hook to him for like $50 million. Mm-hmm. Okay, you do you, Detroit. That's fine. All right.
Well, that's enough. You're 100% like that was all season long with the Eastern Conference. There was no point where it was interesting except for the first week of the season. Like Boston, didn't they win the conference by 14 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran away.
We have talked about Detroit basketball for too long already on this podcast tonight, but we all remember that this was the worst team in basketball to end the year, and they were trying out players in a just like a one-on-one style pickup game in the stadium at some point throughout the year. They were doing open tryouts. This team was awful, and they waited until after the championship to fire their coach. Just some weird shit going on there, but really funny.
Very odd. Very odd. Well, let's talk about something more compelling. And MJ, I'm going to start with you. The NHL Finals, Game 6.
Final. It's the NBA Finals and the NHL Final.
Okay. Game 6.
It's
the
not
Oilers drag
the NHL Finals. The Stanley
Cup Final.
Stanley Cup Final.
Right.
The
Final.
Edmonton Oilers famously drag the Cats back to Alberta. They got up big in that game, MJ, and then Florida finally figured out how to start playing their game again and made it close there towards the end. But what do you see happen in these next two games?
Preferably Oilers win and Oilers win. I think it would be funny, and I think it would be more entertaining. Hopefully Stuart Skinner kind of keeps on his game. He's pretty streaky, but he did fine in those last two games. So I think he should, if he keeps himself together, and specifically if Leon Draisaitl can figure out that he is a hockey player again and just kind of like kickstart that thing in his brain. Because currently he's like, I'm gonna the puck. But at one point he was fucking good, and he's not doing it right now. So I wish he would get that shit together. And then I mean, Florida could probably still pull it out, but I don't want them to. So fuck them. Fuck those guys. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Mark, I don't think there was any question that everyone's favorite Russian goalie, who sounds like a famous painter, was going to be the Conn Smythe winner up until the last two games. Does he have enough? There you go. There's old Bob Roski.
Yeah, you can't really hear it, but
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah. That's
Do you see him turning it around and returning to the form he had the first 3 games?
Sure, why not? He can have a couple of bad games. Sure, I don't see why not. He's probably exhausted, but, it's the Stanley Cup. Everyone's tired at this point. Probably just tired of playing hockey. I'm tired of watching it, to be honest.
Man's is
How
old.
can you be tired of watching hockey?
because I've watched a lot of hockey and I'm
Is
tired of
Boston
it
not
for
smoked
the
already?
moment. It's a recency bias. I'll be ready for it again in October, but I don't have any fucking, there's nothing holding me to these games except for the fact that my wife's favorite hockey player plays for one of the teams, and it's only because he sounds like the name of a painter. That's like the closest thing I have to a rooting interest in this. So I just don't give a shit about hockey right now. But yeah, I think he can. I think he'll be fine. I think Florida's probably going to win it, and that sucks for Canada, and that also sucks for everybody north of Florida.
MJ, when was the last time a Canadian team won the cup? As our resident hockey historian.
31 years ago.
Yeah,
1993.
It's been a bit. Was it really the Habs?
It was the Habs.
Yeah,
1993. It was the same year that Gary Bettman came to the NHL.
It was, I think, Wah got the Conn Smythe.
He did.
Mm-hmm. He did. That was the series that I discovered the joy of listening to hockey on the radio, because I was working security at a hotel at the time and was driving around the parking lot in the van. The only thing on was sports radio, so we listened to Kings in Montreal. It was awesome.
Goodness gracious.
Tank, what do you think is going on with this series?
I'm glad that the Oilers finally decided to show up. That was kind of cool. Because that was looking bad for the first 3 games. McDavid's a damn unit, isn't he? Honestly, I don't care who wins this. I'll be happy for either team. I don't care. It's not the Avs. Kind of, I guess part of me wants McDavid to win one. So, cool. Go Oilers.
I can't find myself rooting for any universe in which Evander Kane gets his name on a Stanley Cup, because he's the world's biggest turducken. So that's really my only rooting interest. I don't really have anything against Edmonton besides the fact that they got him and then kept him. So that guy can burn in hell for all I care. Plus Bobrovsky. And former Evan Rodriguez is playing well. So,
he's having a series.
Yeah, he's playing well. And if Florida can get their forecheck going early in Game 6, that game's not going to end well for Edmonton. But the problem in Games 4 and 5 is they just couldn't do it in time. They completely got wrapped on in Game 4, and in Game 5 they finally figured out the second half of the second period, but it just wasn't enough to score enough goals because Skinner was playing pretty well to MJ's point. So go Panthers, I guess, ish. But I just want a good game. Like I love watching playoff hockey. It's the best playoff sport in the world. It's just,
you don't want another 8-1 blowout.
No, I want good hockey. Just because that'd be like watching freaking Dallas Boston Game 4. It was the same thing. Good God, it was terrible.
They were all terrible games. Come on.
Yeah. Well,
there was nothing interesting in that series.
Game 4 was the worst I'd seen in a long time. It was
Game 3 was okay. It was somewhat competitive in the 4th.
It was just bad basketball.
Yeah, you got Luka jacking up shots from everywhere.
And getting some of the dumbest fouls I've ever seen, just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I just wanted a break.
Right.
Just started fouling so he could fit
so
the minute.
He's young, so he's got a chance to turn it around. All right, that's enough about that. Let's go into Dipshit of the Week. And Dipshit, this is your segment. We'll start with you if you've got one ready to go.
Oh, great heavens. I had one right up until you asked me about it. Come back to me.
Okay, Tank, what do you got? Because I know Mark's looking.
No, I already know mine. Mine is the repeat offender for the summer. Another repeat offender for the Chiefs. Isaiah Buggs, who followed up his animal cruelty charges with a little bit of DV and burglary. So, continuing their shit train through the offseason, Chiefs once again.
Yeah, broke into his baby mama's house with a tire iron and dragged her down the stairs.
Yep.
That's just class. Chiefs are having the worst offseason in history. Mark?
I am going to go with Mets fan. Mets fan is going to be my dipshit of the week. Their team is still awful, but they seem to have been saved in June by Grimace. Grimace, yes, of fucking McDonald's fame throughout the first pitch in one of their games. And I don't think they've lost a baseball game since Grimace throughout the first pitch. And the fans are going wild. Like Mr. Met has been replaced by Grimace, which is a horrible choice. And this year they've already gotten rid of Mrs. Met, which is also a horrible choice. Like Mrs. Met is gone, and now you're going to get rid of Mr. Met because of Grimace throwing out the first pitch. Come on, Mets fan. Your team is still garbage. You guys dumped, what, $500 million worth of salary to the two teams that played in the ALCS last year so that they could play against each other. That was fucking awful. And you've just folded again. I can't. This team is still not good. They're not good. Okay, Mets fan? Stop it. Stop it. I like the Grimace thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm with it. I'm with the Grimace thing. But Mr. Met's fine. Mr. Met's fine. That's it. That's what I got.
I will give the Mets a little bit of credit. They had a mariachi band playing Creed Higher, and it was awesome.
The words were hysterical, though.
Yeah, it was.
Michaela, what did I say? She was like, did he just say, Ascot, can I see?
Yeah, and which I responded, do you think I know the words to a Creed song?
He does not make. He says ask God or something. And he's like Ascot. Ascot.
A little tie right there. It's like you've seen that video of that Mexican cover band with the guy with the Iron Sheik shoes with the boots that fucking curl all the way up here, and he sings "We Will Rock You," and the whole thing is just gloriously awful, and it's all in Spanish until he gets to the "We Will Rock You," and it's like we will rock you. It's so good. It was better than that, but the vibes of that at the Mets game were good, so I will give them that much. But yeah, keep Mr. Met. Fuck Grimace. Whatever.
Grimace is fine, but Mr. Met's good.
Right. Grimace is creepy.
That's
all right.
Creepy.
So I had an honorable mention and Tank took it. I was going to go with Isaiah Buggs. So I will change my honorable mention to something that Neil Schroeder brings up. Justin Timberlake is an honorable mention for Dipshit of the Week. Got hit for DUI while driving in the Hamptons. Have you seen his mugshot? He looks drunk as hell. His eyeballs are the color of Tank's shirt right now.
The reports of what was in the toxicology report are already like leaking all over the internet, and there's some really interesting things that are coming out on that. I'll let you go ahead and do your research.
Do share.
I'm not airing some. No, that like there's some of the things I'm seeing are like HIV medication is in there.
Good God.
Yeah, there's some Molly, definitely Molly, all that kind of stuff. So it's
all the good things.
Ooh, but yeah, the HIV medication was the one that was like, that's interesting.
Do you think he got tricked at like a pill party and they just dumped a bunch of stuff in a bucket and he just took a handful?
Maybe.
Okay, Neil.
Yeah,
is that in reference to Mr. Timberlake?
just the word cock.
Or is that just a statement?
Coke.
Oh, different word. Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, that was still good.
Oh, goodness.
That was still very good. Neil coming in guns blazing. Yeah. And I actually had thought about making Detroit my dipshit, but we already talked about him. So I'm going to go with the Rockies bullpen. Blew a 5-run lead in the 9th by giving up 2 gopher balls.
Which one? Runs. Which 5-run lead?
Yeah, they have given up multiple
times this
well,
year.
How about the one that happened last night?
7 times.
In the top of the 9th. The top of the 9th, giving up 7 runs on 2 swings. See you later. God.
We might be the worst bullpen.
No, not might.
Are definitely like it's
Are.
not even close.
The White Sox have a rough bullpen too.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Might.
Their problems is all offensively. And they're you're right. Their bullpen's bad, but they don't give up 5-run leads because they don't have any 5 runs to get. Yeah, there's no 5 runs to give up.
This year's Colorado Rockies is the first team in MLB history to blow more than one 5-run lead in the 9th inning. We've done it how many times?
7 times. 7
motherfucking times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like the White Sox are bad, and they're the closest thing to a Spider's Cup that we can get, and it's not close. But God damn, the Rockies are just awful to watch, and it's hilarious because they just lose in hilarious fashion.
Yeah,
it's just like the offense works occasionally with this team. That pitching staff is just getting fucking corked every single day. And it's repulsive.
They're tied with the Dodgers right now, 6-6. I mean, how often do you put 5 runs up against the Dodgers?
They put up 9 yesterday.
I know. The offense works.
Don't worry. They're still waiting to get Daniel Bard back. He's going to be the savior.
They have plans for Ryan McMahon.
They have plans for Ryan McMahon, and 38-year-old Daniel Bard is there, so we'll be fine.
Yeah. Chris Bryant stealing, but, all he had to do was put his name on the dotted line. That's not his fault. I'm not going to crush the man for making money. Terrible. All right.
It's hilarious to me. I just wish he'd share. I would actively root for him to be this bad if he gave me a % of it. I'd be like, yeah, Chris Bryant. Yeah. Epic bad.
See if he's on Vestibule. You could invest in Chris Bryant's next contract.
No, I
want in on this one.
He's pissing me off.
He's not getting it next one. I want in on this one.
Right.
That was such a bad goddamn investment.
Yes, it was. Oh, well. All right. Final thoughts. Pimp the things. Talk about the stuff. MJ, take it away.
For those of you who are watching us now, you should switch to Kendrick Lamar's show. It's on Twitch. He played Not Like Us 4 times in a row. So, in case you were curious how that was going.
Oh, wow. 4 times in a row?
Yeah. He'd stop and be like, all right, and one more time.
Goodness gracious.
One more time. He did it 3 times.
Just dropping a fat piss on Drake's grave at this
point. Russell Westbrook is on stage right now, so.
Okay.
Well, that's fun.
Good times.
I'm going to eat my pizza now.
Okay. Tank, what do you got?
Not much going on right now around here, but you can catch us every other week on the Idiot Goons. Yeah, there's not much going on right now. Like you said, we're at the dregs of summer right now, doing a lot of stuff around the house. But you can find me on all the socials at Tank Knox or Knox Nostalgia Collectibles, and yeah, that's about it for me.
Mark?
I'm going to start putting up random shit on the internet, like, would you rather get I don't know. I'll come up with stuff, but I'm just going to put up stuff and see what happens, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so what do we got coming up? I think the next big thing for nerds is going to be Fan Expo, and in a few weeks we'll probably have some more shorts. I know the Duchess has been working her butt off putting some content out there for book lovers and show lovers alike, and there's going to be some new stuff coming out there. Fan Expo is the next big thing where we will be out and about. And then, yeah, that's kind of it. There you go.
All right. Make sure you catch us on all of our social channels. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. Yes, MJ, what do you got?
A 5th time.
I was going to say, what's the Kendrick Lamar update?
A 5th time.
Man, he's just a giant dookie all over Drake.
Right. Neil, we love you. You have a good night, too. Make sure you catch us on all of our socials. You can catch My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. You can find us on Twitch and Twitter at The Idiot Goons, and on TikTok at Idiot Goons. I'm going to change that to The Idiot Goons, I think, in another week. I can change it every 30 days, so we'll make that line up. Mark's Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok are at Poffletime. My Twitch and Twitter are at Pofflepugus, and you can find me on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. For the Asset Muti, we love you, Muti.
Love you, Muti.
Muti.
I'm waiting for the shoehorn. there's got to be a shoehorn.
Oh, so first off, we are working on some more Milty content coming up. That just reminded me about the Milty content. So we're going to do a full-length video on horse betting and a full-length video on craps betting, and we will post portions of those on TikTok. They are in the works, so give us some time to get those together, and we're going to have some new Milty content. Speaking of content, we would love to generate some content by inviting Gene Mingo to do an interview with us. It's getting to be about time that we get Gene Mingo on the show. So let's make it happen.
0 out of 5 because I had to make you do it.
I almost forgot. I did forget.
You did forget.
I did forget.
Yeah, you forgot. You absolutely forgot.
I forgot it.
No stars for you. I award you.
I will take the L.
Mercy on your soul.
Give me the giant L.
For Mark Dipshit and for Tank, I am the King Goon. My name is Matt. This has been My Brother's an Idiot. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of each other. We'll see you next time. See ya.
Bob Roski.